I'm the martyr. Follow me because I'm not like those guys. And then he was going to start his own shop. And that's what he's trying to do. And some people fell for it and said, I'm with you to the end. I'm Mug Club till I die. And didn't understand that really nothing happened here other than nobody wanted to pay Steven Crowder $120 million. So he turned to his viewers who he thinks are stupid enough at least not to understand how business negotiations work, right? Like, this is like normal. You kick it back and forth. And they were going to make up for his loss.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. And, as a bookend, I suppose we probably will get some more spicy clips on Monday when and if Steven Crowder does, in fact, appear on Timcast. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say that night. I think he's scheduled to go on another podcast, too. But, I think I kind of hope I really had kind of hoped that maybe this would wrap up this week. I feel like we all kind of know what we need to know when people have, unfortunately had been felt compelled to pick sides. I am heartened, though, by a lot of the comments in the comment section down below of people saying like, it's not a good look, but whatever. Like, I still enjoy this person's content or that person's content. I think that's a very healthy way to look at it. There's also people that are like, I'm ride or die with Crowder now. That's probably good for him. And there's people who are strongly supporting Daily Wire as well, and that's good for them. I don't think there's really any clean kind of break on this, but one of the things that I thought was really unhelpful was, Candace Owens really getting personal and appearing to me completely out of touch while simultaneously calling Steven Crowder out of touch. It wasn't an awesome look. I want to respond or cover a little bit from her podcast coverage of it. And, I do have some critiques there. I do have a small favor. By the way, I always post my videos to thequartering.com. So they always get, posted up here, usually within a few hours. But I'm asking people this weekend, if you can, open a new window, go to thequartering.com, and in the upper right, there's a spot to sign up for my mailing list. I very rarely email. In fact, I haven't in months. But I'm working on something pretty huge, and I want to be able to reach you all and update you as that goes. I'm not going to like sell you stuff and or sell your emails, all that kind of stuff. But you put your email in up here on the right, and then it'll say, wait, you must check your inbox to confirm your subscription. And then you just go to your email, and you'll have an email from me that says, The Quartering, please confirm your subscription, with a button to confirm. Very, very hopeful that you'll do that. I'm going to post something to my locals and my subscribers too to ask them to do it over this weekend too, just to kind of have one spot where I can actually get at everybody and talk to you. Because I'm everywhere, right? YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegrams, I just want to be able to email people. So please do, if you can, do that. Now, Candace Owens put out a 3-minute clip yesterday from her podcast, and I want to address it because I thought, wow, this is not a good look for conservatives. I also want to address, some of the issues, that I have taken some kind of pot shots at Candace Owens, and I feel like I at least owe it to you, my viewers, to kind of say why that is. People can change; they absolutely can, and I think that it's very, very possible. But if you can, trust that, I'm not always right, but I try to be honest about it. If you take some time to look into this thing called social autopsy, which again was 2016, 2017. Okay. That's how long I've been doing this. I remember Candace when she was called Red Pill Black, and before that she was called something else, and she was a leftist working with Zoe Quinn and others. You can see if you stumble across the Twitter account Social Coroner over the weekend, you might have immediately assumed it was being run by the type that's sadly become familiar online, a hardline gamer-gator. If you spend enough time on Twitter or Reddit, you run into these folks occasionally, sitting in the far end of the observerness bell curve. These are the dudes convinced that a cabal of feminists, social justice warriors, or SJWs are controlling everything from behind the scenes. I mean, we know now that they are, but two common sorts, targets of this obsession, broadly speaking, of course, Zoe Quinn and Randy Lee Harper. And indeed, they were exactly who Social Coroner went after. This was essentially like a doxing website. Social Autopsy launched a Kickstarter campaign. I wonder if it's still alive. Wave goodbye to cyber bullies and trolls. And if you notice who's in this picture, it's Candace Owens. This is somewhere between cell phones and technology. This is about, doxing people. And this was a website that, would cause a lot of outrage. A lot of people were like, what in the heck? What, here you go. Our founder, Candace Owens, has been selected to give a TED Talk on June 4th, 2016, about the perils of this era of technology and what we're all doing to combat it. The talk will be live on TED.com. Anybody can do a TED Talk, as far as I know. But like, you understand that, like, if you look at her debate with Blair White about Social Autopsy, that wasn't that long ago. Okay. So that's why I'm always cautious about her. I'm not saying she's not smart. I'm not saying she's not savvy. I'm not saying she doesn't say things that I agree with occasionally, but I've always been suspicious of her because of her work with Social Autopsy, essentially as a leftist, and then poof, overnight, she's a right-wing media star. It's interesting. I'll say that. But she put out this video, and again, that was 2016, but her defense of it remained, I think, not that long ago, just a few years ago. She was on Dave Rubin to talk about it. So this clip, I think, is hilarious for a lot of reasons. First of all, on Timcast last night, Candace Owens repeatedly referred to Steven Crowder as an actor. I think that's pretty rich. She impugned his character, called him a bad person, did all this stuff. None of it was like about the business deal of it, right? It was just personal. Candace Owens gets personal. When she gets, she's very spicy, and she'll pop off and get personal with people, and she holds grudges. I don't know if that's, it's a character flaw, but I'm not going to judge somebody for being emotional or whatever the case is. But I thought this clip was not great, especially since she essentially called Steven Crowder's viewers dumb.
At the end of the day, I think what happened, this is completely my opinion, by the way, so I'm not blinking twice, I'm not under duress, is that Steven Crowder became a free agent, and he's feeling a little vulnerable right now.
Maybe that's true.
Right? He's used to working for other organizations. He has some guaranteed pay. And he thought that Daily Wire were actually going to meet him at $120 million. They didn't. They declined. And he's still feeling a little shaky on that. It's scary to go out on your own. I thought about it. I thought about going out on my own. It's a lot of work. Maybe down the line I will. But it's a scary thing to go out, to step out on your own and say, I'm going to do this thing completely by myself. As Jeremy pointed out.
This is all fine, right? This is all fine.
Steven's not done that before, right? And so to do this, he pulled a move in which he was going to try to take a bunch of people that were subscribed to the Daily Wire and start his own company.
That's a lie. Okay. At no point did Steven Crowder ever say, leave the Daily Wire and come sign my thing. Okay. So again, this is the stuff that Candace does all the time that people ignore because she's right about a lot of things too. But like, that's just a lie.
So essentially saying, I'm the hero, I'm the martyr, follow me because I'm not like those guys. And then he was going to start his own shop. And that's what he's trying to do. And some people fell for it and said, I'm with you to the end, I'm Mug Club till I die. And didn't understand that really nothing happened here other than nobody wanted to pay Steven Crowder $120 million.
Also not true. Again, I think the talking points went out at Daily Wire to just really focus on the money. He at no point complained about the actual money offered in the contract.
So he turned to his viewers who he thinks are stupid enough not to understand how business negotiations work, right? Like this is like normal. You kick it back and forth. And they were going to make up for his loss. So
again, she's saying she thinks his viewers are stupid is what she's really saying here. The idea that because they didn't turn on him, right? So her implication is that, well, they must be stupid if they back Steven Crowder.
People that are upset by his video, the millions of people who watched it, are now going to give him $1, whatever it costs to be in the mug club, and they're going to become the $120 million that he feels that he deserves. First of all, I'm just going to say this, unrelatable. Unrelatable. People are trying to pay for bacon and eggs right now at the grocery store, trying to buy a steak once a week.
This still gets me. Girl, you got a $500 haircut. You've got professional makeup on your face. You've got a probably $500 dress. You're sitting in a multi-$100,000 studio. Unrelatable. Girl, stop. You have a whole production crew. Unrelatable. Also, people who are struggling are not buying steak once a week. I don't even buy steak once a week. It's expensive. Like, what do you mean? Like, that part is like one of the most ridiculous statements. Like, girl, look at you. Look in the mirror. You're a $1 million production studio, thousands of dollars in makeup and jewelry on, professional crew, and you're like, that's just not very relatable to Joe Sixpack.
And you're over here crying because somebody couldn't meet you at $120 million. And it is crying. I don't like it. It was a total bitch move. There are plenty of things.
What? Huh? But if you're enjoying the coverage and you haven't yet, please do subscribe down below. Wherever you're watching, YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey. I'm just glad that you're watching. But wherever you're watching, please do subscribe. It definitely matters. It helps a lot.
Things that happen across all organizations in the conservative movement where I will say that I empathize with Steven Crowder and saying that sometimes you feel like a cynic, which is like, is everybody selling out? Are people doing this, people doing that? There are a lot of things that Daily Wire has done that I disagree with. There's a lot of things that Turning Point has done that I disagree with. There are things perhaps that PragerU has done that I disagree with. I have worked with all of these companies.
I think it's curious that you have worked with all of them. Why do you bounce around so much?
Right? But to do a total bitch move and go out to the public rather than trying to resolve these things and these slight differences behind the scenes.
He wasn't interested in resolving the issues. He was interested in exposing what he felt was like a predatory contract that also young content creators also signed. That's what he has said about how he's motivated. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was all part of an evil plan. It's entirely possible. I don't know. Like, yeah, we talk, but maybe he's playing me.
And to make it seem like you're the hero and you're the true one and you keep it authentic when nothing happened other than you didn't like an initial term sheet. And all you had to do was tell them that and tell them what you didn't like and go back and forth with lawyers like everybody.
I think it's curious that the initial term sheet even had those things, though.
Everybody else. I think it's crappy. I think Steven is a little egocentric. He probably will do better on his own. I don't think he knows how to play on a team. And by the way, the last thing I'm going to say, because I'm going on Tim Pool tonight, so I'm going to say it anyways later, is that I'm pretty sure, wasn't it Steven Crowder who also screwed over somebody he used to work with? Was it not Gay Jared? Because he had him tied up in a contract?
Now, this is also a clear talking point that was set out by Daily Wire because I saw several of their personalities bring this up or allude to it. I don't know anything about that situation. So I don't have any connection to him. If he did get screwed over by Steven, he's welcome to reach out to me and I would happily report on it. But I also think, again, like, what's the point of that? And she offers no details. She just says, oh, you screwed him over because he signed an NDA. Well, he didn't have to sign the NDA, right? Aren't you also saying, like, well, he didn't have to sign it? Well, Jared didn't have to sign that NDA either. Now, I don't know if he did or not. That would be interesting. I'd be happy to talk to him. Jared, reach out to me.
Wasn't that Steven Crowder who did that? So is he supposed to be the moral high bar? Are we not supposed to call him out for that? Here's the thing. Steven, why don't you release Not Gay Jared from his NDA and allow him to talk about how he felt he was treated by you? Because I know that at the Blaze, everyone says that you're actually not that nice. You treat people poorly, but you bring in so much revenue that everybody just has to take it. So
again, this is hearsay. I know half a dozen people that work for the Blaze and have never said that. Maybe they told Candace, but not me. He also doesn't work at the Blaze studio. He doesn't interact with just about anybody at the Blaze. So I'm not sure how many people at the Blaze have worked with him. Now, maybe if there are Blaze people who come out now and say, like, well, actually, she's right. I really didn't like Steven Crowder. Maybe that's true. But I mean, like, I know personally several people that work there, and none of them have confirmed this. So is she making it up? Probably. Probably. Not a good look. I think Candace did a lot of damage to them, even though, you know, they had I think they were in a strong position before she popped off. And then before she went on Timcast, I mean, the chat on Timcast was just roasting her nonstop for an hour. So I'm not sure that she did quite the damage control that she had hoped. But I don't know. It just doesn't come off as very good. I'm looking forward to a amicable end to this, hopefully. Hopefully, Steven and them can just say, like, all right, well, let's just focus on our own thing. Clearly, Steven needs to just go out on his own. He needs to focus on doing that. And Daily Wire needs to just focus on doing what they did because, you know, they've done good work. I don't want to say that they haven't. So I hope you were informed by this video. If you were, please do leave a like on it, subscribe down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.